Hey everyone, welcome back to J plus K Retro Gaming channel. This week's game is number 12 on IGN's top Super Nintendo games, and it's gonna be Mega Man X.
Danger. All the bases are on.
西暦 2100WX 年レプリロイドたちの反乱が始まった。もう一人のヒーローロックマン X スーパーファミコンで新登場。君はまだ X を知らない。カプコン。
So Mega Man X is an action side-scrolling platformer brought to us by, of course, Capcom in 1993 on the SNES. It was, of course, preceded by other successful Mega Man games on the NES, but this one on the Super Nintendo introduces, of course, a new character X, but also new elements in gameplay, in power-ups, armor, and new abilities and skill. So this story is set a century after the original games and follows, of course, the new character X, a new type of robot that was made with the ability to think, feel, and make his own decisions. And of course, with most of these AI-type video games, stories, movies, there's that built-in directive where we do no harm to the human race.
A robot cannot harm a human being. The first law of robotics.
Yeah, I know, I've seen your commercials. But doesn't the second law state that a robot has to obey any order given by a human being?
And of course, as with most Mega Man games, this one was a huge success, huge commercial success. It sold well over 1 million copies in the 90s. So when this game first came out on the Super Nintendo, even though I did have an original and still have the original Super Nintendo, I did not play Mega Man games until further along in life into my young adulthood, so I don't quite have to reach back too far in my memory banks to remember this game. I did play it a lot, I do remember it, so I think I know how this 5-minute challenge and rating is gonna go, but we still have to put it to the test. So let's play Mega Man X. So that was Mega Man X on the Super Nintendo, and yes, it does pass the 5-minute challenge, actually crushes a 5-minute challenge. After about the 5-minute mark, I found myself wanting to play it even more and not even do this video until later, but I had to control myself, stop playing, and do the video while the game was still fresh in my head. So let's get into the ratings. So for audio and music, I'm gonna give Mega Man X 10 out of 10. Think that might be a first on the channel, have to go back and see, but the music, so iconic, so awesome, theme music, level music, everything. As soon as I heard it, man, really got me immersed in the game. I think the overall mood and tempo of the music really creates this excitement while you're playing the game, which is really awesome for music to do. But I think this soundtrack definitely takes the gameplay up to the next level. And the sound effects really hits the mark as well. Nothing to complain about. Of course, I gave it a 10, but sometimes when there's games where you have repetitive shooting, it kind of can get annoying depending on the sound they use. But this game with the laser sound definitely hits the mark. So 10 out of 10 for audio and music. So for video and graphics, this game gets 9 out of 10. So really high as well, really lush, colorful environments. All the little details were done really well. The platforms that we jump on, the cars, the enemies, everything was really imaginative, especially for the 90s and especially for the 16-bit system. And of course, X, such a simple design, simple color scheme, but so iconic. In fact, I think Mega Man as a franchise is one of the most iconic characters out there, especially in the Nintendo world. Let me know in the comments what you guys think and where you would rate Mega Man the character. Now on to the all-important gameplay, and this game is gonna get 8 out of 10. I'm usually pretty picky and hard on gameplay, so 8 out of 10 is pretty high for me. I love the jumping mechanics, the different kind of jumps, so the long jumps as well as the short bursts that bring you up the posts. And the shooting mechanics were smooth and pretty flawless as well. So those were just a couple positives that jumped out at me during my gameplay. One negative though you may have noticed during my playback is the choppiness. So sometimes when there was too much action on the screen, too much going on, some cars going, enemies, you jumping, got pretty choppy. Sometimes unplayable, a lot of flashing in and out. That was the only negative. But overall, gameplay was so fun, and the fun factor definitely plays a huge part in my rating, 8 out of 10. So all of that said, I'm gonna put all the ratings together in my head and come up with an arbitrary number. Mega Man X for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System gets 9 Marios out of 10. So once again, let me know in the comments what you think of my rating, what you think of the game, if you've played it now, in the past, in the future, and of course let me know your list of iconic video game characters. I think Mega Man is definitely one of the best out there. So thank you all for watching. Thanks to all our subscribers for all your support, and we'll see you next week on the next 5-minute gameplay challenge. Bye.
You wouldn't be so tough without that helmet, little brother.
You're on, Proto Man. Plasma power!